let me just, we're going to start from here. Ooh. It gets a little clumsy. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. Because when you're doing this live, you can't always get exactly what you want. This is Ashley Guiterres. I renamed her Ashley Magdaliano. This is based on, I had to use an actress from Estudio Dos, which was a channel on KRCA. So we're looking at 2009 art, 23 years of story. And she is the precursor to Ashcan, one of the three characters I created back in 1997. This is actually based on a real kind of chola. I was going to a high school in Montebello, and this high school, I was going for my senior year, and I was transferring from one school, a private school, because of my bad grades, and I was going to a public school in Montebello, a high school, in fall of 1995. Actually, no, it was summer of 1995, going for the class of 96. So in 1995, I met this one girl. She was about 5'9", very tall. She had highlights in her hair, and her name was Ashley Magdaliano, but I couldn't remember her last name. I wrote Guiterres, but no, I don't like it. I'm always changing my fucking mind when I'm doing this art, so I'm always doing this. So she went from a kind of dark hero, a funny hero, to a villain. So I made her. When I work on my stories later on this month, she's going to have her own short story that's going to add on to my trilogy. The trilogy of Grim Planet, Gray Patriarchy, and Green Pueblo. She's going to star in her own story called, what is it called? Gorgeous Pendeja. That's what it's called. Gorgeous Pendeja. So we'll look forward to that. And these are the circus freaks as you see them, as they are in the 2009 version. I guess this is based on the 1997 concepts. They were done in pencil, and now they're done in color. Here's another one. This is sort of the beginnings of art, and it's like a stained glass window approach. So you have Jerry the Devastator, Jerry the Reaper. You have Jesus looking like Zeus. You have Violet looking like a plant. I was going to have like some sort of greedy pinche looking guy, Huicho, and Zetrolok the alien looks like a giant, looks like a Illuminati eye in the background with fire, with the death and destruction of the world. That was what I was coming up with. This is based on a sort of a typical kind of car gangster, car gang, Mexican street kind of gang. So, each one of these has a realistic face based on photographs I see, a cartoon, all 3D shading, and a quote. So cars are a lot like girls. You can have many and not feel bad. So he's a bit of a player. He's got his bling necklace. He's got his hot rod, kind of a roadster. Caesar Cruz is a character I kept around, and he's the kind of guy that will fix up cars and do all kinds of stuff. He'll fix up cars for anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. He's the ultimate pimp my ride American chopper kind of guy. So that's who he is. He's got this weird handle for the doors and the mirrors, and I don't know. It's just the way I designed it. This is Eric Anaya, based on somebody I knew in school. He's this like younger kid who can create energy. So he's before Eco. So you have Ashley who becomes Ashcan. He becomes Eco. He becomes that energy being. I think I've shown that before in the 2005 art or 2006. Now this is the most important character that I worked on in 2016. This is Jerry, based on my cousin who becomes Jerry the Reaper. So it's hard to see it, but if I can show it to you upside down, I don't know if I can do that. My smartphone is funny like that, so you're going to have to just bear with me here. Um, let me see what I can do here. So that's Jerry before. So I had to remember what my cousin looked like. He kind of looks like me, but with a smart alecky face. He was about maybe 2 to 3 inches taller than me, a little more buff. He had some weight. He worked out a lot. And this is him after. So he becomes this monster. And he becomes this monster because he made some bad decisions that ultimately affected his life. Um, if you, I stole it from a movie. I guess if you look at the movie Batman of 1989, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Except Jerry has a lot more depth. And you kind of feel sorry for him, but you just shake your head thinking, what a terrorist. This guy's a shit ass motherfucker killing all kinds of people. So not only does he look and sound different, but he kills everything around him. He's the blacklist terrorist. Everybody's his enemy. Doesn't care. That's he's a he is a fable. He is a moral lesson into what when we look at ourselves, what do we do every day? Do we make peace or do we kill? Do we spit at people? Do we shake hands? What do we do? That's what it's about. This is Zetralok as he becomes the robot. This is based on Gamma Droid Prime in 2002, 2003, some of the other art. And it's Zetralok with the Zetrobots. This is loosely based on Alfredo Angulo Lopez, who was a Mexican boxer. I changed his eye color a little bit and gave him a different name so I don't have to pay the guy because he has his own, he's a boxer, he would have his own copyright and stuff. So he just happens to look like Alfredo Lopez. Some asshole is honking the fucking horn. Why don't you use your fucking smartphone, motherfucker, and see if the person's home and not dead? Honk, honk, I honk the horn, man. People just honk the horn. Me honk horn. Me honk the horn. It's like, you have a phone, type the number, because, remember there was like a Law and Order episode, I think, where somebody, where are you? Hurry up, hurry up. And the person's dead on the floor, eyes wide open. They're dead. And it's like, that's the start of a murder. It's like, how about you call the phone? Maybe they're dead. Maybe somebody got murdered and you're not checking. You're just sitting like a jerk off honking the fucking horn. Anyway, that's why I don't talk to people in my neighborhood. It's a fucking Mexican ghetto and nobody gives a shit. Anyway, moving back to this topic of art, we got the Mexican Avenger 2. This was, I put the accent mark in the right place this time. It was the Stan Lee art that I showed you, remember? That's the art that I showed you that had this guy in the center. So that's him and his talking cat, Valiant. So that's Mexican Avenger and Valiant. I'll show you this art up close. This is Moses Ortega before he becomes Mud or Mutt, a bulldog with a shit. So the three circus freaks, Ashley, Eric, and Moses, these are their human counterparts before they become the monsters. He is loosely based on someone who was the president of a bank. And Eric is based on someone from school. They're both from my high school, but he's based on a critic for a comic book website. And Ashley, she's kind of like that lowrider chola, I remember her boyfriend was this big muscular cholo guy. I wouldn't mess with him. But I still think she's hot as hell, whatever you're going to do. This is Oyeya Wambui and her son Kamau. Remember, her son Kamau is deaf. They've appeared a few times before. I showed you them before. And they in the Christmas picture. Here are the Outcasters in like real life looking photographic art. Drake, Rye, Gino, Rosemary, and Jorge. Here I used the celebrity photo. This is Little Miss Valentine, who is almost out of continuity now. This is Zetralok before he becomes a robot. And there's Ashley again. We'll go to slideshow mode. All this art that I've been showing you is leading towards my second book. Now, in 2010, the next year, I started working on the art. So Ashley becomes the robot. I'll show you again. Here are the Devastators. I had an idea now. I know who all these people are. I've known who all these people are since 2003. There's Eric again. Eric Anaya, based on the comic book critic, and there's my cousin. And I wanted to make the book a series of short stories. There was a problem with, there was a negative to doing that. I did publish the second book and it's out there now, but it didn't come out the way it should have come out. And as an artist and as a writer, I'm not happy with it. Here's Moses again. So, I mean, at this point, I felt like I was ready to do another book. I was saving up the money and I was going to do it. This is them as a council. That's why you see the a flag and the California flag and a curtain. So it's based on a council photo I saw earlier. Um, and that's a red alien with a robot arm that he's ripping off. And there's Ashley again. So I'll show you, just in case you want to know, that's Ashley here, that's Eric, and that's Moses. They're alter egos as these circus freaks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on some more art. I'm working on the art equivalent of Grim Planet, which is a 3D, kind of a 3D mosaic diorama that tells the same story of my written book, but it is in like kind of a pop-up book in which you little things you do in the story tells you exactly how things work. So, I mean, it's just how I'm going to write this, okay? And yeah, I'm just gonna show you next week the art I did for 2010. I'm going to show you some of it on I think Friday or Saturday and show the next stuff on Saturday and Sunday. Either it's going to be 2 or 3 days. I'm going to have to look closely. And then 20 for the end of for the rest of September, I'm going to show you the book, a little bit of the book because I want to be respectful to my publishers. And 2012, I'll show you some more art I did. And 2013 will be next month. I will show you my first fan fiction for Superman superhero stuff. So I'm signing out. Be kind, be cruel, be you. I hope you had a good Grandparents' Day. I didn't remember it.